All right, hey video, what's up? This is Harry and Pop Culture Uncovered, and I'm here with the creators of Strange Fruit, Mark Waid, J.G. Jones. Gentlemen, welcome back to Comic Con. How's it going?
Going great. Having a great time. Good show. One of my favorite shows. Actually, probably my favorite show.
Yeah.
The best. Yes.
And I'm telling you, Strange Fruit was a good book, and I just wanted to know from the both of you, what was the idea behind it?
You start, because it's your baby. Yeah, you've been talking about the story since as long as I've known you.
Yeah, I'm the one that got Mark into trouble.
Thanks, white guy.
I dragged him under with me.
I know, yeah.
I'm holding on to his feet now, not letting him serve us.
That's right. But no, the original idea, you've been carrying this around with you for a long time, right?
Yeah, well, I grew up in the Deep South, and I read a lot of history, and I read a book about the flood of 27 that flooded the entire Delta, and the story just kind of grew out of that. So
yeah, I found it fascinating. So, he's been telling me about it for a long time, and it's a fascinating era in American history. It was the greatest natural disaster up to that point that it hit the United States, and hundreds of people lost their lives. And what's amazing is there's still some film footage of it. It's 1927, but there's actually there's still some film footage you found.
Yeah.
There's books written about it. And your take on it, which is what if, if you do sort of like the Golem / John Henry. Take two. It's a fascinating piece of American history. It's this time when thousands of people died. It's this huge natural disaster. And your pitch, which was what if you did this sort of Golem / John Henry, myth angle to it, where the mysterious stranger shows up and he's the guy who conceivably can save the world, but he's black. And this is not a good time to be a black man in Mississippi in 1927. Exactly. That intrigued me a lot, because both of us, again, you grew up in the Deep South, I grew up in the Deep South. We both grew up at the cusp of the Civil Rights era, and it's an interesting story to tell. Other people might want to tell the same story. That is awesome. This is just, two creators take on one version, two creators take on this one story. I would love, there was some outcry. There was some outcry. Who were two white guys to tell the story? To which my answer is, no one's stopping anybody else from telling the story.
Exactly.
And feel free. I would love to see other takes on it. So
yeah. Let me ask you guys this: how did you feel at the timing when this book released with what was going on in South Carolina?
You were smart enough to stay off the internet.
I got a book to paint.
Yeah, I was not. Again, when you came up with this, when we first started talking about doing it, it was before Ferguson, it was before South Carolina, it was before, the McKinney text, it was before any of that stuff.
Yeah, it's sad that we have to count back to so many of these.
No kidding.
In modern day.
And so it was. I don't think we would have changed anything about the way we approached it. But the good news is most people seem to understand we were in no way inflating or aggrandizing the Confederate flag, which is a hateful piece of cloth. But to be able to use it the way you did symbolically, I think it was not only a masterstroke, but it was the one image. That last page of that last issue was the thing that got me interested in doing this to begin with. It's such a strong and brutal image. So where did that come from in your head?
That is the first thing I ever sat down and drew when I had the story in mind.
Yeah.
There's over 300 signatures on it.
I thought that might be the first issue cover.
Would have been nice.
Yeah, well, yeah. But you know what?
But it's kind of, I think it works better to pop that at the end of the last issue.
Yeah.
Because
that was a jaw dropper.
What I was looking for was to have the Colossus
First one, one of the first
is.
ones to sign it was.
I wish I could use the English language.
Well, he's not from here. That's the thing. It's
Yeah, I wanted to look at the reactions of the other characters to him, and we get their points of view, where he's almost a cipher.
Right. As you will see in the second issue, he is an alien. He doesn't speak English. He doesn't read English. He doesn't communicate verbally. It's not. So we weren't in any. I don't mean to sound offensive. But we weren't in any way trying to play into any silent black man tropes or anything like that. It's just that's an alien.
Yeah, and I think that meant a lot more, seeing that, because too many times when you have the alien invasion, the alien has already picked up on the language.
Yeah.
He knows what's going on. He knows what's happening. But this guy is totally out of his element. He just shows up out of nowhere. And actually, one of the other things that I did enjoy about the book, the overall theme, which mirrors, this is 1927, but it mirrors so much of 2015 now, is there's this problem, there's this impending flood.
Right.
But rather worry about the flood and how to stop it, everybody else is worried about how to take care of the guy that possibly robbed someone.
Exactly,
That's not the bigger issue right now.
Exactly.
That's not important.
Yeah. That's the thing that amazes me about the world we live in, and Pope Francis hit upon it the other day too when he was in town. Like, this is stop worrying about the nickel and dime stuff. I'm paraphrasing the Pope, by the way. I don't believe he said that.
That's close enough, though.
But we try to find some common ground, so try to find some way of working together. And the way you and I talked about it, the villain of the piece is the flood. The villain of the piece, the villain of the piece is the rainstorm. That's the constant threat that's hanging over everybody's head. And again, I'm just not saying this because he's sitting here. It's such a beautiful book. It is the images are so evocative, and the storytelling is so strong that I wake up in terror every day thinking he's going to realize, well, I don't need that guy.
So when can we expect issue 2 and 3 to drop?
Issue 2, I think, drops this Wednesday, what I've been told. And
Excellent,
I'm working
good.
away on issue 3, so.
Yep. It's in the can. Issue 2 is in the can. Issue 3 is on its way, and it's worth waiting for. It's a beautiful looking book. It really is.
I really love issue 3.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the rest of them, guys. Thank you very much for that story being told. And if you out there are still upset that these two gentlemen did this, do it and do better. That's all there is. We'll just tell your own interpretation, because that's what we need.
Your words, by the way, not ours.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But
I'm on the record for this. This is Harry from Pop Culture Uncovered. We're out.